At the beginning of winter or the end of autumn of '94, I brought two girls here whom I didn't know, and that's where I committed the murder.
Imagine you're walking home late at night. It's dark, it's freezing, and you're a little scared. Suddenly, a police car pulls up beside you. You feel safer, right? For 87 women in Angarsk, Siberia, that was the last moment they ever felt safe, because the man behind the wheel wasn't there to protect them. He was the danger. His name was Mikhail Popkov, and for 20 years no one could stop him.
His method was almost always the same. Late at night, Popkov would drive around in his police-issued Lada. He would slow down beside a woman returning from bar, a party, or at night shift. He would roll down the window, smile, sometimes flash his badge. "Get in, I will drive you home. You shouldn't be walking alone this late." And they would get in, because he was a police officer. He would drive them out of town, into the forest, where no one could hear anything. His weapons included axes, knives, screwdrivers, and hammers. Sometimes he took them directly from the police evidence room. Popkov killed the women with extreme brutality. Then he would go home, back to his wife and daughter, and back to the job he loved the following morning. By sunrise, Officer Popkov was already sitting at his desk.
Beginning in 1992, bodies started appearing in forests, on the sides of roads, in a cemetery. Always women, always murdered with unimaginable brutality, and always with no witnesses. The police formed a special task force and spent years chasing a shadow through the Siberian winter. For years, the profile pointed to a mechanic, a driver, or a railway worker. A police officer wasn't even considered, but there were clues. Tire tracks found at several crime scenes matched the tread of a Lada, the kind of vehicle commonly issued to a law enforcement. And then, finally, there was a witness, a young woman who survived. Popkov drove her into the forest, slammed her head against a tree, and left, believing she was dead. She spent the entire night unconscious outside in the freezing Siberian cold. The following morning, she woke up in a hospital. She identified Popkov from a photograph and recognized his police car. His wife, Yelena, who was also a police officer, gave him an alibi. The case was closed. Then it happened again. A second suspicion, a second alibi from Yelena, and once again, the case was closed. Investigators would later say, "We were looking for a monster. We were staring directly at him, and all what we saw was a colleague." In 2003, investigator Mikhail Zavorin described the man they were still searching for.
He is attractive and sociable. Women like him, but inside he is a beast, and it is always difficult to fight a werewolf. By 2012, the case had been open for 20 years. Dozens of women were dead, and investigators still had almost nothing. Then they made a decision that changed everything. Every current and former police officer in Irkutsk region, all 3,500 of them, was required to provide a DNA sample. Mikhail Popkov of course provided his. He had no choice, his name was on the list. On June 23, 2012, police arrested Mikhail Popkov in Vladivostok, where he had traveled to buy a car. During questioning, he didn't shout, he didn't cry, he didn't deny anything. He simply sat down and began to talk.
After his arrest, the full scale of his crimes finally became clear. Mikhail Popkov was born on March 7, 1964, in Norilsk. Soon afterward, his family moved to Angarsk, where Mikhail grew up, attended school, and later served in the army. The psychiatrists who examined him paid particular attention to his childhood. His mother was an alcoholic. She physically abused him. Investigators later noted that Popkov repeatedly chose victims with a particular body type, heavier women who reminded him of his mother. In early 90s, he joined the Angarsk police force. Hard-working, reliable, the kind of man people trusted. He married Yelena, who was also a police officer. They had a daughter named Ekaterina. From the outside, he was an ordinary family man. By day, he protected people from criminals. By night, he became one of them. He explained his motive by claiming that he wanted to clean the streets of prostitutes.
На улице, когда вы находились, о чем вы с девушкой общались?
Единственное, что она мне в разговоре сказала, что дома пьяный муж, и если бы его дома не было, то вообще бы она меня к себе бы тогда. Именно вот эта ее фраза, и возможно, что это послужило предлогом.
Over the following months, Popkov confessed in 22 cases. Then more. He drew maps so investigators could locate the bodies. He describes his victims in extraordinary detail. Their clothes, jewelry, and tattoos. He also confessed to killing one man, a police officer he had picked up late at night. In a 2017 interview, Popkov said, "I choose women who were drunk, women who lived immoral lives. Every society condemns women who behave that way." When he was asked whether he felt any remorse, he said he had acted according to his inner convictions. He believed he was doing the right thing. By 2023, the confirmed number of victims had reached 87. The official number today is more than 90. Investigators believe the real number may be close to 200.
January 2015. Popkov was convicted on 22 counts and 2 attempted attacks. The sentence, life in prison. December 2018. Found guilty in another 56 cases. A second life sentence. June 2021. Another 9 years and 8 months for 2 additional cases. November 2023. Another 10 years for 3 more cases. He's now serving 2 life sentences at Black Dolphin Prison, Russia's harshest correctional facility, where the country's most dangerous criminals are held. He surpassed Andrei Chikatilo, convicted in 52 cases and executed in 94, and Alexander Pichushkin, who was convicted in 48. More than 90 confirmed victims, 1 city, 19 years, and a police uniform that made all it possible.
The Popkov case leaves behind more than just a number. It leaves us with the question that has no comfortable answer. How do you protect yourself from someone whose job is to protect you?